Mapulat di Ranawaan. Welcome to Ita See the World. This September, the delegation of the Republic of the Marshall Islands visits Taiwan. And today we are very honored to have our special guest, the director of the Canoe Association of Marshall Islands, Mr. Kelen. Please say hi to our audience first.
Yahweh, hi. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. And before we start the interview, can you show us your traditional chants?
Kubakanam Rebichan Lebenam Paparan Lotanam Kolo Kopanam Walil Wajaro Li Pelalua Charam Chatal Chago Akupakanam Rebichat Lemenam Paparan Lotanam Kolo Kopanam Walil Wajaro Li Pelalua Charam Chatal Chago. So, Kubakanam Rebichat is the balance, the harmony among the people as we work together. Kubakanam Rebichat. Lemenam Babaran is the bailing of the water. See, in every communities or families, there is always challenges. But challenges is the good thing, because challenge is a great tool to learn, to be progress. Kopanam Walil, Kopanam Kaloy, Lotanam Kaloy, it's a leader, it's a chief. We always have a leader, we always have a traditional chief that we work together to accomplish our goals, to accomplish the tasks that we need to do with our community. And working together, we accomplish things really fast. It's the end of the chant, it says, Lotanam Kalo Kopanam Walil Wacharo Li Pelalua Chadam Charam Chago, which means that our goal as we work together and follow the chief, it'll be accomplished as fast as the lightning in the sky.
Mm-hmm. So it means that the canoe culture is very important to the Marshall Islands culture, right?
Canoe, it is the most sustainable tool for our sustainable life.
Yes.
We use it to go fishing, go hunting, and go transport between the islands.
Mm-hmm. So you have a traditional tattoo on your body, and is that related to the canoe culture or the Marshall Island culture?
It is related to Marshall Island culture. It tells the story. It tells the task that we need to do in order to survive.
Mm-hmm. So can you introduce a little bit about your tattoo?
Yeah, sure. The one tattoo on this arm means that it shows the octopus. So the octopus have one head, which represent our task, and then they have a lot of hands or legs that represent the task that we need to do in our community. And then, of course, we have two belts that represent sunset and sunrise. But you see, no man is an island. Nothing will be done without the mat. The mat represents the community. So we all have to work together in order to accomplish our goals. Okay, so on this arm, you can see a different motifs. So these are the famous bullock, the famous bullock fish that is represent the resources in the ocean, and this is of course the water, and this means that you're bringing up the most challenges fish from the sea, or the resources from the sea, and underneath is these are the shark teeth that mean danger. When you bring up these resources, you are facing the danger of the ocean, the sharks and this bad spirit in the water. But then again, you see the mat. That means the whole community, or all the fishing families are with you in a challenging time to bring up the needed resource to the community.
So you have a tattoo on your chest, right?
Yeah, the one on my chest, it represents the culture keeper. I am a culture keeper. I train. I make sure that our cultures stay alive by using it and by promoting and by training the young people. And if you can see, it's the whole motif of all the skills on the islands. And if you look on the top, you see all the boxes. These are the bonefish. That means it represents the bad spirit of anybody that want to hurt me. They'll have to fight through the boxes here. And I also have in the back a stick chart, the compass, and the arrow that protect me from any bad spirit that that would be affecting me while I'm doing my work. So no matter what you do, there's always a warrior within you. In order to accomplish anything, you have to have that warrior spirit within you.
So as you're a director of the Canoe Association and you're also a great canoe builder, so you have been to many countries, right?
Yes.
How many countries you have been?
Countless. I've been a few countries in Europe, and of course I've been Europe before, and all over the Pacific. I've been also all over China, and it's a lot of places that our canoeing culture have taken me.
So you have been to Taiwan for many times. Yes. So have you found any similarities in this culture?
It is, yeah. We are obviously we're island people, so we are ocean people. So there's so many similarities among our two cultures. We actually, we started here.
Started,
yes. This is where the roots of the Marshall Islands, the Austronesian, started in Taiwan, and that's how. So we are actually a branch out of Taiwan.
So, Mr. Kelen, in the Austronesian culture, we all have the canoe culture. So, what do you think the importance of the canoe culture?
Well, there's two things. The canoes actually, it's our identity. It shows our environment. It shows our surrounding. It shows the skills of our ancestors and how we survive on these islands. So the canoe is a very important skills, and it's different countries have some different modification on their canoes, but it's actually the same. We are the ocean people. But the other thing is that our islands were colonized by foreigners. For example, in the Marshalls, the Japanese came for the war, World War II, and a lot of the small islands in the Marshalls, the Japanese says don't build canoes because they were afraid that they would go to the Americans. So the navigational skills and all that stuff, a lot of them died because of that colonizations. But if we look at what we are seeing today with climate change, for example, we are using this tradition that will keep the fossil fuel underground. That means it will make the islands stay afloat. And at the same time, it will make sure that the tradition does not die. So it's good for our indigenous people, and it's good for our country, for our sustainable livelihood and our heritage, and also good for the islands as a preservation of climate change.
So is female is able to build a canoe or sell the canoe?
As a matter of fact, the legend has it in our country that we're navigators, and female brought navigation skills to our country. And we're also voyagers because of the sail on the canoe. That was female also brought that. So we had two spirits, all these female spirits that brought in the skills. So female always involved in canoe building, navigation, and everything else.
It means that female and male are equal in your society?
In our society, the women own the land.
On the land?
Yeah, and we claim them for that.
Okay, so as you mentioned about the issue of the climate change, how do you have any plan to tackling on this issue?
Well, from the traditional, from the culture side, the best thing to do is to keep the culture practiced. Use the canoes. So we have less and less boats or water vehicles that use fossil fuel, which means that it will help the island stay afloat from climate change. Because now climate change is coming in more and more. The same water that give you the blessing now is scaring you. But by using these skills that have been here for thousands of years and we've been using for survival, I think is the best solution. Here in Taiwan, there are more and more storms and that kind of stuff, and it's all because of us, because of man using technologies and resources that actually came in climate change.
So what makes the Marshall Islands canoe so special?
Well,
so unique.
Yes, I always tell people that Marshall Island canoes is the most unique canoes in the world. And of course, because that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
But see, the hull of the canoe, one good example, the hull of the canoe is called asymmetrical shape, which means one side is flat and one side is kind of round. It's the same shape on the airplane wing. And on the airplane wing, without that shape, the airplane wouldn't fly. And we actually used that design 2,000 years before the inventor, the Wright brothers invented airplane. And of course, the hull and the outrigger, they are separated in movement because of certain lashing on the canoe. That's today we call it shock absorber. And there are many more most advanced technology that we use on these 2,000-year-old technology.
See, we have shared the same marine culture, right? So in every May, every year, Marshall Island have a biggest festival called like Constitution Day.
Yes.
So could you please introduce this day for us?
Well, this is the day where the whole country get together. Families and groups from all the different atolls within the Marshall Islands come to the center, the Majuro, and we celebrate the Constitution Day. This is where we do traditional canoe races, we do fishing tournaments, and all the activities that represent the country, represent our indigenous people and our heritage.
Yes. So is that similar with the Bunong festival, like you have attended this week?
Yes, it is. It is. I think that's what really was unique. That's where you really see the very similarities, because you saw on one side all the traditional skills being put into games, and on the other side you saw the volleyball games, and because you need to make sure that the tradition, the culture is alive, and at the same time you need to bring the enthusiasm of the youth so they can all merge and really create that interest.
I think it's bring good memories to you, right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so can you teach us your language, like hello or thank you?
Well, I always show off with that.
Yeah.
So we actually don't have any words for good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We just have the word yakwe.
Yakwe.
It's I-A-K-W, so I-A is rainbow, K-W-E is you. So every day you see people in the morning and say, "You're beautiful, right, rainbow. I love you."
It's beautiful.
Yeah, morning, lunch, or midday or evening.
Yes, and how to say thank you in Marshallese?
Komol.
Komol.
Oh, komol tada is thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing with us today about the Marshall Island culture and komol tada.
谢谢.
And later we will have the interview with the Minister of Culture and Internal Affairs of the Republic of Marshall Islands. But before that, we will have a video to show the background of the agreements between Taiwan and Marshall Islands. 献唱传统歌谣，互赠手工礼品，展现两国对南岛民族文化交流的期盼与祝福。9月7号，马绍尔群岛共和国文化及内政部部长Ota 率团拜会原民会，落实双方在2019年签署的南岛民族文化事务合作协定。
在2019年的1月3号，原民会跟贵国的文化及内政部在原民会这个地方呢，签署了南岛民族文化事务合作协定。协定的内容呢，包括语言文化、传统知识跟技艺，还有经济、体育以及气候变迁等领域的这个交流合作。
这次代表团除了前往花莲、台东、屏东的原住民部落，也参加9月中旬的全国布农族射耳祭暨传统技能竞赛。透过实际和族人互动，分享双边的祭典文化。Ota 部长也向原民会发出邀请，在明年5月1号参加该国最盛大的宪法纪念日。
Government-to-government relations are important, but I believe that it is our people-to-people relations and our shared Austronesian heritage that truly bonds us together. Since the signing of our agreement for cooperation on Austronesian people's cultural affairs, this pact has boosted our collaboration and deepened bilateral exchanges in various areas.
今年3月，马国总统科布亚曾率团来台，重申与台湾建交24年的深厚邦谊，也希望这次的双边协定能持续为两国关系加温。近期，尽管面临地缘政治挑战，土瓦鲁和帛琉等太平洋岛国领袖仍相继访台，凸显出南岛民族在外交场域所扮演的重要角色。记者拉瑙、阿拉斯、许家荣、林柏宏整理报道。Welcome back to Ita See the World. As I mentioned that this September, the delegation of Republic of Marshall Islands visits Taiwan. This is based on the agreements that they have signed with the Council of Indigenous Peoples on January 3rd. 2019. So today we are also very honored to have our special guest, the Minister of Cultural and Internal Affairs of Republic of Marshall Islands, Minister Ota Jacob Kisino. Yakwe, Minister.
Yakwe.
So first, could you say hi to our audience first?
Yakwe,
Thank you. As I mentioned, we really want to know more about the agreements that you have signed with the Council of Indigenous Peoples. Could you share with us the origin and what is your future plan since you took office this year?
Como dada, agreement na chain lo ranong yene way kalikar. Human agreement in kalikar and ministry. Iper na rain matar kubadok ngan lale tago chemerong ipen drone mshere alaptara igiche manidum kan manidrinal.
Okay, so you mentioned about the agreements, but actually this year we also have a Austronesian forum, right? So do you have any in your opinion, what do you think about this forum and what roles does Marshall Islands play in this forum to really strengthen the relationship among the members?
Austronesian forum is one unique. Marshall Islands and joint member in forum. Elang mengo jik kanu kage araptara kitchen manit kajin ami mono Ameno ijiloge alabar specific netkononoga human forum education climate change. Issue me all of lalgainan reach phase rain.
So during your visit in Taiwan, when participating in all these indigenous ceremonies or traditional sports competitions, what impressed you the most?
Akumol, ilo agar lolok intelligence ni narito yan majal lolok all even checking army rain indigenous army rain. Chakalo air agar palok kon mani do air kan wawin air nur tijagan air nur raining. Many of our lukun impress gaga ilo air kachung rabijot mani din air. Jadi malalagay chuan wawin me kachung rabi me japin achat tanake ilo air kachung neling tak ito ini jaman.
So have you found any similarities in Marshall Islands culture?
Oh ay, alawan lang menuo ilun eda katongan mani doan ramajal. Jal lolo argar lolo kachuyo town again. Village again. Melang wawin ko nampak juan ilo kajininar. Lo cetian nan kay lo kajinin majal. Ecolo yurian kajinan cetian indigenous tribe.
So what are your prospects for the future relationship between Taiwan and Marshall Islands, since our President Tsai Ing-wen shows her supports for the Australian nation's affairs?
Chala ko na kajan project ng Marshall, ang section is David Kagwa. Elaban bar chuda living culture. May chunyan area ko located ng Marshall iloan min leling tak. Iloan min pello forum ni chun min me ini kachung rabbit money digay nar. Iloan exchange pen lalgin nerin number info. Eligin agar pagpili ni chidu emenal ni nodolak. Your plan ko an kini. Dengan kakan-kakan lakonin kedan Marshall ke Taiwan alat ada chain culture. Ini cuman area yang me cijilowe Marshall dan Taiwan with similar loair dan share alat ada kan culture. Future plan yo dengan air kakajong lok cemjarain air ipenar di Taiwan kan wawin gain alat ada chain money gain air.
Okay, Ota, I believe that Australian nation culture is always be the crucial foundation between Taiwan and Marshall Islands. So we're looking forward to more interaction among two countries. And thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Komotata.
那我们先稍作休息一下，稍后回到节目现场。